Hello friends, my name is Soni and you are watching News on Map India segment by Drishti IAS. In this episode, we will be talking about certain locations which has been in news in the past few weeks, and we will see that these locations will be quite important for your prelims examination. So let's start with the practice question which was given to you in the previous lecture. So here is the question. Chiang Chenmao Valley is situated in which of the following places? There are certain options given: Ladakh, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur. Now this particular area has been in news because there was this you can say snowfall activity which has happened in the Kargil area, and that area becomes important for us. Okay, otherwise it is strategic in nature. So let's see the location here. Before coming to this particular you can say map, I would like to tell you that this is the area. Okay, so this boundary over here which you can see, this is basically the area of your Chiang Chenmao Valley part. Okay, so this here you can see, this is the valley area. Okay, now here you can see this is the part of Aksai Chin, and you know that why Aksai Chin is important. Now this area, that is your Daulat Beg Oldie. You know that India's highest altitude airstrip is present in the Daulat Beg Oldie, and that is why it is quite important for us. That is, you know, Daulat Beg Oldie. Okay, so here that is why it becomes important for us to have a quite a good you can say grasp on this particular area, because LAC is passing somewhere over here. Okay, and we know that China has occupied this region illegally in 1962, and that is why this area is quite important for us. Now coming to the map over here, this green boundary which I have taken over here, this is basically your Chiang Chenmao River Valley. Okay, and here you can see this particular is the river Chiang Chenmao. Okay, this is the Chiang Chenmao River. It is a tributary of Shyok River. You must have heard about Shyok River because it is a tributary of Indus River in turn, and Indus is a quite important river water system in India. Okay, and when we are talking about the Trans Himalayas, okay, so this Shyok River is a river of Trans Himalayas. Okay, so I hope this is clear. And when we are talking about this particular river, please remember that it is a river tributary of Shyok River, and Shyok is a tributary of your Indus River. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now this particular area, okay, looking at the map, you can say that this is the part of Ladakh region. Okay, so option A would be your right answer. Okay, now we can move further to the first question of the day. With reference to the Wedge Bank, sometimes seen in the news, which of the following statements given are not correct? They are asking you which of the statements are not correct. Okay, this Wedge Bank has been in news because of the India-Sri Lanka issue. Okay, there was this particular you can say island, Kachativu Island, which was in news recently, and because of which they were talking about an agreement which happened in 1974 between the Indian Prime Minister and their counterpart in the Sri Lanka, and it was said that this particular Kachativu Island, which is present over here, has been given to Sri Lanka. Okay, but Sri Lankan government says there is this following agreement which was there in 1976, which says that this Wedge Bank area has been given exclusive control, or you can say has been given by Sri Lanka to India with exclusive control over here. So exclusive economic zone which is present over here, that is Wedge Bank is part of our exclusive economic zone. Okay, now you know that this is Cape Cameron. Okay, and now this is the part which is south of Kanyakumari, or you can say the main India mainland. There is this particular in the south of that there is this Wedge Bank area. Okay, so you can remember the location, that is just below the Kanyakumari. Here in the south we have this Wedge Bank. Okay, so with respect to the Wedge Bank, there are certain statements which are given over here. Let's see. It falls within the India's exclusive economic zone, so this statement is correct. The Wedge Bank is situated to the south of Cape Cameron. Okay, so this statement is also correct. Okay, now India has sovereign rights over the area and its resources. That is also correct because it is part of our EEZ. Okay, now the Maldives claims that its vessel have every right to operate around the Wedge Bank. Now that is the problematic statement, because first of all, this is your our own exclusive economic zone. Second thing is, Maldives has nothing to do with it, because the issue was with Sri Lanka and India, and not with respect to Maldives. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. So option D would be your right answer. Okay, now coming to the next question, which is question number 2. Consider the following statement about Kolkata. First, initially the city comprises 3 villages of Kalikat, Govindpur and Sutanati. Okay, then there is this which served as the important trading center. Okay, second statement is job Charnock is believed to be the founder of Kolkata. Third is Kolkata port is located on the mouth of Bay of Bengal. You have to choose the correct statements. Now, before going to the explanation part, I would like to tell you certain things about it. When we are talking about the Bengal was the region which was quite important for the Britishers. Okay, and that was the first settlement, you can say, the permanent. If we see the first stronghold of British Empire, that was started from the Bengal. Okay, after the Battle of Buxar, that has happened over here because they have gotten the Diwani rights, etc. Now they started controlling this area, and afterwards they went for the building of the city, etc. All these things has happened over there. Okay, now initially the city comprised of the villages of Kalikat, Govindpur, Sultanati. This is correct statement. Okay, so that is one thing. Nearly around 1686, something like that has happened, and afterwards we have seen that there was this battle of Buxar and Plassey which has happened later. Okay, now Job Charnock is believed to be the founder. This is also correct. And Kolkata port is located on the mouth of Bay of Bengal. Now when we are talking about mouth is a feature which are related to rivers and not this Bay of Bengal or the oceans. Okay, so we can say that this is the mouth of not this particular Bay of Bengal but the Hooghly river. Okay, so you have to choose the correct statements. We can say that 1 and 2 is correct. Okay, now coming to the maps over here. Now when we are talking about this particular area, okay, so this is your Haldia dock. Okay, and when we are talking about the port area over here in the Kolkata, this is basically your Hooghly river. Okay, so at the mouth of Hooghly river we have Kolkata. Okay, now here you can see in this picture it is clearly visible that there is this particular area, that is Sultanati, okay, then Kalikata and Govindpur. Now this area was actually being urbanized, or you can say made into a planned city, that was called as Calcutta. Okay, so I hope that is clear. And this is the person, okay, that is Job Charnock, which is actually considered as the founder of Kolkata or Calcutta. Okay, now as I told you, these Kalikat, Govindpur and Sultanati, these are the three areas which was combined and made a trading center, that is Calcutta. Then Job Charnock is believed to be the founder of Calcutta, that is also correct. And then Kolkata port is located on the mouth of Hooghly river. Okay, so 1 and 2 is correct, that is option C would be your right answer. Now coming to the question number 3, consider the following statement. Kerala became the first state in the country to declare man-animal conflict as a state specific disaster. Okay, now second statement is, once the issue is declared a state specific disaster, the onus to deal with it shift to the state disaster management authority. Third statement is, state specific disaster is managed as per the Wildlife Protection Act. Now you have to choose the correct options over here. Now when we are talking about this particular activity, that Kerala becomes the first state in the country to declare man-animal conflict as a state specific conflict. Now that is true because this is the recent news on basis of which we have taken this question. Okay, so that is one thing. Kerala is the first state, okay, which has done that. They have given the status, or you can say man-animal conflict, they have given the status of a state specific disaster. Now when we are talking about this man-animal conflict, these are quite prominent in the, you can say, Western Ghat areas, or you can say in the southern part of our Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats. And then when we are talking about the northeastern area, why is that these conflicts are quite prominent over here and not in the plain area like northern plains and the Gujarat, Rajasthan? Because this is the simple logic that these are the forest areas. Okay, there are various biosphere reserve, man and biosphere reserve, there is a program. Okay, and there are various communities which are living in these forest areas. Okay, now since communities are living over there, there are tribal communities or otherwise also some village areas are there which are part of the biosphere reserve, etc. And that is why there is such a conflicts which are happening in that particular area, because these are forest areas and people are living in their vicinity. Okay, now coming to the second statement, once the issue is declared as a state specific disaster, onus comes on the state disaster management authority. Now since it is a state specific disaster, obviously disaster management authority will go for the, you can say, responsibility for that. So that statement is also correct. Now state specific disaster is managed as per the Wildlife Protection Act. Now they are talking about the onus is on the disaster management authority. Now then why would Wildlife Protection Act would be involved over here? They will go for the Disaster Management Act. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. Now 1 and 2 is correct, so option D would be your right answer. Now here you can say, as I told you, the Kerala becomes the first state to do that. Okay, So this is the area. There are certain, you can say, protected area which can be important for you. So they are given in this particular map, and there are certain lakes like Ashtamudi Lake. Then there is this Periyar Lake. There are certain reservoirs which are mentioned over here. So you can go through these. Okay. So Kerala becomes important for you because it is the first state which has gone for the, you can say, given a status of state specific disaster to the man animal conflicts. Okay. Now, when we are talking about this news, there is this particular thing which is given. At present, the man-animal conflict is the responsibility of the Forest Department, which act under the Wildlife Protection Act. As per now, the man-animal conflicts are part of your Wildlife Protection Act. Now, when we are talking about the Kerala, which has changed that particular designation and they have given it to a status of state-specific disaster, now it will be, the onus will be shifted to the State Disaster Management Authority under the Disaster Management Act. Okay. Now, who will be the chairperson of this particular authority in the state? There is Chief Minister, who is ex officio chairman. And when we are talking about the district level, authorities, the district collector would be the authority over here. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now, as I told you, option D is your right answer because third one is incorrect. Now, question number 4. So, question number 4, consider the following statement about the Amur falcons. They get their name from Amur river from the borders between Russia and China. Okay, second statement is Doyang Lake in Nagaland is known as the stopover for the Amur falcon during their annual migration from their breeding grounds to South Africa. Now you have to choose the correct statements. When we are talking about this Amur falcon, this basically this is a migratory bird. Okay, they actually start from Siberia region of Russia and China, and they comes to India for a stopover in Nagaland, and then they goes to the South Africa for the breeding. Okay. Now, why they come to this particular part? Because of the harsh climates which are present in the, you can say, Siberia region. Okay, so this is the bird we are talking about. That's Amur falcon over here. Okay, so here you can see from this particular region, that is your Siberia region of Russia, and then some part of China, and then from here they starts and then they come to India for a stopover, because at this particular point of time, place, they take rest. They actually recharge their fat so that they can fly ahead to the South Africa. That is why they take a stay over of nearly 18 days over here. Okay, and then they will move towards the South Africa. Then here they basically go for the breeding, and after that they will return to the Siberia. And that is why these migratory birds are quite important for India, because for a period of nearly 18 to 20 days they stayed over here. Basically this happened in the mid October and November. Okay, so that is why it becomes important for us, and this is on the East Asia, China to South Africa. Basically this is the Central Asian flyway route. Okay, so this is about this particular you can say species, that is Amur falcon. They get their name from the Amur river from the borders between Russia and China. As I told you, they start from Russia and China, so this is particularly correct. Then Doyang Lake in Nagaland is known as the stopover for the Amur falcon during their annual migration from their breeding grounds to South Africa. So basically that is also correct, which we have already talked about. Doyang Lake in Nagaland, this is the particular space where they would go for a stopover. So please remember this particular lake as well. Okay, now both the statements are correct, so option C would be your right answer. Coming to the next question, that is question number 5. Consider the following sites: Rakhigadi, Banavali, Birana. Okay, now how many of the above mentioned sites belong to the state of Haryana? Okay, now recently there was this particular development which has happened in Gujarat. Okay, so there was this two place, that is Khatia village, and then there was this Padta Bet. Okay, these were the areas which were in the news because of the excavation activities which has happened over here. Okay, and this Khatia village is important because there are nearly 500 graves which are present over here, and these graves belong to the Harappan period. Okay, then when we are talking about this Padta Bet, recently there was one grave which has been unearthed. Okay, and that is why it was in news, and these two areas are approximately 150 kilometers, and because of which the other sites like you can say Harappan sites becomes important for you. So Rakhigadi, Banavali, Bhiranna, these are the sites. Let's see. So here you can see that when we are talking about Banavali, this is over here. Okay, when we are talking about Rakhigadi, this is also in the Haryana. Then this Bhiranna, that is also in Haryana. Okay, so all these three sites are in Haryana. Other than that, you can see this area becomes important for us because when we look at Dholavira over here, somewhere over here we have this Khatia village, and in the proximity of 150 kilometers we have the Padta Bet. Okay, Now this area becomes important. This is basically in the Kutch district. Okay, so that is why it becomes important for you. So please remember that Dholavira, Khatia, Partabet, and then there is important port, that is Lothal, that is also important for you. Okay, so these are the areas which are important. Other than that, there is this site in Gujarat, that is Surkotra. Okay, when we are talking about other sites, these are Mohenjo-daro, Kot Diji, Chanhu-daro, all these are famous sites. You must have known about it. Okay, Mehergarh is there, Kalibanga, Harappa, all these sites are quite important. When we are talking about this Banavali, Banavali has a specific feature, because when we are talking about the Harappan architecture, when we are talking about the Harappan civilization, we know that there is a drainage pattern which is quite famous. Okay, so outside their house there is this drainage pattern which is actually sewage system which is present in the Harappan cities. But Banavali is a place where this drainage was absent. Okay, so that is one thing. When we are talking about Rakhigiri, it is also famous for the some graves which are found in the Rakhigiri area. Okay, otherwise this is also a prominent site of Harappan civilization. Okay, now all three are basically your Harappan sites, which are from the state of Haryana. Okay, now moving further, question number 6. Regarding Kalesar National Park, consider the following statement. It is located in Yamunanagar district of Haryana. It is situated in the foothills of the Shivalik ranges of the Himalayas. It is contiguous to Rajaji National Park and the Simbalbara National Park. Okay, so these are the three statements with reference to the Kalesar National Park. We know that Kalesar National Park is part of your Haryana state. Okay, you have to choose the correct statements. Now coming to the map over here. Now this area somewhere here is basically your Kalesar National Park, and when we are talking about this particular area, this is under the Yamuna Nagar city, Yamuna Nagar district. This is the only district of Haryana through which Yamuna passes. Okay, so that is why Kalesar National Park has been in news, and this particular national park was in news because there are 4 projects, 4 dam projects has been sanctioned by the state government, and they have been approved by the, you can say, authorities as well. But the thing is, Supreme Court has put an stay on this, and that is why it was in news. So this is the area, and when we are talking about this particular region, that is Kalesar and Haryana, this is somewhere here, you can see this is somewhere here which is it is present, and we can say that this is yellow patch is basically your Shivaliks, so we can say that it is on the foothills of the Shivaliks. Okay, now coming to the part where they are talking about the contiguous zone of you can say to Sambalbara and the Rajaji. Here you can say Himachal, and then this part of your Uttarakhand, and then we have Haryana over here. No doubt these Uttarakhand and Haryana does not have this boundary directly touching, but when we are talking about the contiguous zone, okay, so this is the whole area which is contiguous zone, and that is why we can say that this that particular statement is correct, because this is Kalesar National Park, this is your Simbalbara somewhere in Himachal is in this particular area, and we have this Rajaji which is in this area, so that is why it becomes important for you. Okay, so all the 3 statements are basically correct. Option C would be your right answer. Okay, now we can move to question number 7. Regarding Hasdev Aranya, consider the following statements. The forest of the Hasdev Aranya located in Chhattisgarh is one of the most extensive contiguous forest tract. Hasdev's forest are catchment area for the Hasdev river, a tributary of Mahanadi. Okay, so I hope you can say you have to actually read this statement, and accordingly you have to decide for it. Okay, so let's see. When we are talking about this particular area which has been in news, and it has been taken because there is this person, that is Alok Shukla. Okay, so Alok Shukla is a person who has been awarded with the Goldman Prize. Okay, and this prize is considered as the Green Nobel, and that is why this prize becomes important, and he has got this prize because he has this particular movement. He started the movement to save this Hasdev forest area. Okay, so that is why it has been in news. Now coming to the location over here. Now when we are talking about this particular area, this is your Hasdev and forest area, and this is in the state of Chhattisgarh. Okay, when we are talking about the river, here you can say that there is this Hasdev river which is in Chhattisgarh, and this is tributary of the larger Mahanadi river. Okay, so that statement is also correct. So coming to the statements again, the forest of Hasdev Aranya located in Chhattisgarh is one of the most extensive contiguous forest tract. This is correct. Hasdev's forest are a catchment area for the Hasdev river and a tributary of Mahanadi rivers. This is also correct. Option C would be your right answer. Now coming to the question number 8. Devcha Pachmi coal mine project built as one of one having the highest coal reserve in India is situated in which of the following state? Now this Devcha Pachmi, the coal mine project that has been in news because the local communities or the indigenous people living over there, they are against this particular project because they will affect their livelihood, their you can say lifestyle over there. So that is why it has been in news. And when we are talking about this particular project here, you can say that it is the largest reserve, and that is why there is this largest proposal for the coal mine. Okay, so here you can say this is basically the coal mine Devcha Pachmi project, and this is the map of West Bengal. This area is basically your West Bengal, and when we are talking about Devcha Pachmi, it is somewhere here. Okay, so you can say that it is in West Bengal. Option D would be your right answer. Now for your practice, there is this question. Consider the following dams: Srisailam, Tungabhadra, Nagarjuna Sagar. What is the correct chronological order of dams? From north to south. Okay, so basically they are not asking the chronological order; they are asking you the order from the north to south. Okay, so you can consider that there are options given, the codes given. So whichever is the perfect one, you can answer in the comment box. Okay, so you can attempt this question and answer in the comment box. So with that, I would like to wrap up this episode. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.